Live from Indianapolis, Indiana, welcome to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show, presented by Scott K. Nichols and State Farm Insurance. And now, here's your hosts, Brandon Reef and Jonathan Birdsong.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Crossroads Sports Radio, episode number 318 here on a Wednesday night. I'm your host, Brandon Reef. Be joined momentarily by my co-host, Jonathan Birdsong. We've got NFL action, college football action, and America's favorite pastime, the MLB postseason. All that going on right now. And if that's not enough, we've got NBA training camp starting up. So the Pacers, local team here, Pacers getting ready to go into action. So we've got all that and more. We've got our college pick'em we have to talk a little bit about tonight. We've got Tanner calling in as usual at his 7:45 call time. So we'll get him and more. We'll have Jonathan call in here momentarily, and then we will be ready to go. Couple news and notes. Man, yep. Actually, here we go. We got him right here real quick. JB, how are you, sir?
Doing all right, man. Where we at in the show at, man? I know we just fresh opening.
Just gave a little rundown, so ready to dive on in. First, I think, John, we need to dive right into a couple things. A couple people we lost this past week, Dikembe Mutombo, and also Pete Rose. Two legends that we have lost, both passed away this past week.
Yeah, just to kind of touch on that, man. It's been I haven't really delved into like the statistics. Everybody knows Pete Rose is a great player, whether he was in a red uniform or a Phillies uniform. Everybody knows this, right? Everybody knows the controversy that kind of surrounds his name as far as him not having a lifetime ban as it pertains to the Hall of Fame as well, man. But no, man, as a kid, and I kind of caught the tail end of Pete Rose, you know what I'm saying, as a player, man. But as a kid, you know what I'm saying, those are the cards you wanted, the baseball cards that you wanted. You wanted Pete Rose because, you know what I'm saying, he statistically, you know what I'm saying, filled every box, right? So, and you know, the contract said, the controversy with him not being in the Hall of Fame, but he's a Hall of Famer. Without a doubt, you know what I'm saying? We talked about it how many years ago on this show, you know what I'm saying? People used to call in and ask us, Pete, yeah, of course, Pete Rose is a Hall of Famer. I just can't get over it, you know what I'm saying? The lifetime ban situation. And when you shift to Dikembe Mutombo, you know what I'm saying, just one of the all-time greats that ever played basketball, played the center position. You walk away when you think about what I do anyway, with nothing but great memories of Dikembe Mutombo, even though this didn't necessarily win a championship. But he played high-level stakes basketball. You remember them being the 8th seed in Denver, and him, the emotion just kind of pouring over it as they defeated, you know what I'm saying, the playoffs. They beat Seattle. They beat Seattle Supersonics that year, and Dikembe just kind of fell to the ground like they won the championship. You know what I'm saying? But it was a 7-game series and like grueling. Or 5 games. It might have been 5 games. I can't remember. But they won. You know what I'm saying? For the first time, 8-0 won. So just, you know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, him coming to this country, man. I know sometimes, you know, in this day and age, man, we have such a negative connotation as it comes to immigration. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Dikembe Mutombo came over here the right way. You know what I'm saying? Started. You know what I'm saying? At Georgetown, became you know what I'm saying? A cemented legend as one of the Georgetown big men, you know what I'm saying, that they, you know what I'm saying, following the steps of, you know what I'm saying, Ewing, and, you know what I'm saying, well, he was there with Alonzo. But yeah, you know what I'm saying, following those steps of, you know what I'm saying, the Georgetown big man. But like, no, man, he turned, you know what I'm saying, he made something of himself, you know what I'm saying, as an immigrant coming to this country. And, you know, everybody don't become a professional basketball player, Brandon, you know what I'm saying? So, like, no, man, sad to see Dikembe Mutombo go. I know I'm kind of glazing over some of his other career stops and past, man. He played with the Sixers a couple of seasons, man. Got to the finals there with them. I do believe he played with the Atlanta Hawks. I do believe he became an All-Star with the Hawks, man.
Yes.
And Defensive Player of the Year with the Hawks as well, man. So, like, man, it has been a great outpouring for both of them. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen on my timeline not anybody, you know what I'm saying, that played in the 90s or the late 80s that had something, you know what I'm saying, quality and nice, you know what I'm saying, to say about the Dikembe or a picture to share, or, you know what I'm saying, something from their archive. And just from the professional standpoint, for Pete Rose, man, a lot of the writers now coming out, oh, yeah, we knew he was blah, 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 Hall of Fame, but, like, now you find out why he's not. And, like, how all that, it's a shame. But I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, they'll do something ceremoniously and put him in. But, like, nah, man, two greats, gone, but definitely not forgotten.
Yeah, and the Pete Rose thing, I mean, he served his time now. Right? He was banned for baseball in the Hall of Fame for life. Well, his life's over now, so pretty sure he can go in.
Right.
And really, it's more or less just an archive, history, books type of thing is all it is, really, to be honest. And there's a lot of dumb shit that the baseball writers do when it comes to those type of things. I mean, we vilify. I mean, this country, for instance, gives people a lot of second chances. Murderer, 15 years, can serve time, come back out, and rehabilitate his life.
Right.
Ray Lewis, scumbag, can
Oh, man.
could sit there, kill two guys, and then come back, and then snitch on two others in a courtroom, and then he gets no jail time because he snitched. So, and then he ends up being a Super Bowl champion and all that. So, I mean, it can happen. It's weird that it happens for other people, but does not happen to Pete Rose. So, interesting on that. John, let's dive right into let's go to the NFL week number. Oh, what is this? Week number 4. I don't know why I had week 2 recap.
Yep.
Week number 4, first game on the books. We had John, Colts Steelers. Colts win 27-24 over the Steelers. Colts, man, they jumped out at this game, jumped out quick. No huddle offense, deep passing. Kind of, smacked. I think of it like a boxing fight. And they came out and punched the Steelers right in the mouth. And before the Steelers knew what happened, they were dazed and trying to come out of the corner. And it's already 17-0. And that's hard to come back from in the NFL. But Colts give them to their game plan. They started hanging on there in the second half. Pittsburgh started making a run, 3 straight touchdowns. Justin Fields, two rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdown. But the Colts hanging on, keep a couple key feelers there. For the Steelers, what hurt them, John, I was there in attendance. What hurt? The George Pickens fumble as you're going to going down into the inside the red zone. You had the Justin Fields sack fumble when that took you out of field goal range. Another one where Tomlin decided to punt from the 45 instead of take Boswell in there, who's a very accurate kicker. And then the last one would be the 4th and 1 that Zaire Franklin stopped Justin Fields on. All those, T.J. Watt was double teamed and held. A lot of missed holding calls. I'm going to say it now. Not sour grapes, but he was definitely held. I'll show you the videos if you want to see them. That there was no calls on. But, yeah, Colts win. They get their get a nice win for them as they getting ready to go into Jacksonville. Your thoughts on Colts Steelers? And another thing, Anthony Richardson, the man gets hurt, goes out for 2 plays. Joe Flacco comes in, and then Richardson goes right back in and gets hurt again. That's dumbass Colts management to me, I'm thinking.
Uh-oh. Well, man, I want to go back. So that was the perfect version of the Colts. I think that's what they want to do. They want to play fast. They want to play, with the lead up, and somebody looking, looking in their dust. Like, how can you catch up with us? What I kind of take away from it, you mentioned Watt kind of being double teamed, whatnot. They kept Anthony Richardson for the most part clean and upright, except for him stepping out the game, right? But they put them in the first half. They protected real well, right? So the concerning part is that Brandon, like when you mentioned with the coach and having with your coach and Anthony Richardson, like he said he was clear to go in, man. And I know So you have to, as a coach, right? You have to understand that you have to protect your player. You know what I'm saying? Your star player, and that's what he is. Kind of from himself, and understanding that, you know what I'm saying. And so if he is gonna go back in, like, what kind of play are you running, right? So those are some those are. I can't necessarily say it's a head scratching thing because it is football, and you have to get it. You know what I'm saying? And you have to get out there, and we got to get reps. And, you know what I'm saying, the more he ain't out there is a negative factor for this team going forward, whether they win this game or not. And I know, you know what I'm saying, the accuracy still, it ain't still fixed just yet, y'all. You know what I mean? But, you know, but that's the best version. But think about it though, Brandon. Like, man, to like sidebar away from this game, because I thought Justin Fields played except for the fumble. I thought Justin Fields played a really good game. But the issue with them, with the Steelers, is they can't play from behind ever. So with anybody, they can, you know what I'm saying, like you said, a 2-score game down for them. It's like that's a hard comeback for them. Some teams can. I don't think the Steelers are one of them. But you got to think about it, though, Brandon. Away from this, man, like, we don't really have a whole – remember we used to have 4 games preseason? You know what I'm saying? Those things would have kind of helped out some of these teams. They still got a little bit of rust around them. You know what I mean? So, and I know that, you know what I'm saying, the NFL doesn't want to lose players to, like, preseason, star players to preseason injuries or anything like that. But I think that's what's needed with some of these, you know what I'm saying, quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying, with the exception of like our guy down in Jake Daniels down in with the Guardians. You know what I'm saying, with the Commanders, right? He don't need. He's just ready to go. You know what I'm saying, showing him the playoffs right now. But like, nah, man, I thought it was a victory that the coach needed. You know what I'm saying, as they approach going into this weekend playing Jacksonville, who's 0-4, who unfortunately is desperate for a win, who unfortunately for the Colts also they haven't beaten since how long? Maybe 2016, something crazy like that, right? But like, no, man. So good, like I said, good victory for the Colts. They found a way to win. Still got some question marks though, Brandon, and then with that, still got some question marks on special teams, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, the kicker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He's got the heebie-jeebies or something, man. But other than that, man, like I said, you take the victory and you know what I'm saying, you build off of that.
Yeah. Jonathan Taylor, mild high ankle sprain. They think he'll be good to go. Anthony Richardson looks like a short-term injury, hip pointer, and an abdominal strain. He was limited in practice today. Didn't really do too much. Joe Flacco came in, had a serviceable game against Pittsburgh. But like I said, I think if they had another quarter or so, I think they were real starting to pick up on the Colts, because the Colts kind of stalled there in the second half, and
Right.
I think they kind of opened it up for Justin Fields to kind of open up and you know, let loose and do what you can do. I should have known we were in trouble, John, when before the game in the tunnel, they show the TV screen and Najee's giving the double bird to the fans in the stadium. When Najee's giving double bird, I should have known that was trouble to begin with there.
You're number one. You're number one twice.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. For the Steelers, Russell Wilson's practice reps increased this week, but Fields will still start this week against the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football in Pittsburgh. So Fields versus Dak Sunday night. Steelers Cowboys, an old school rivalry there. Indianapolis is going to go to Jacksonville, where it's been a house of horrors, and they haven't won in 11 years. John, 11 years since the Colts have won in Jacksonville. They've lost 10 straight. And they are underdogs in the Vegas sports bets. They are underdogs to the 0-4 Jaguars, which I thought was interesting.
They are between the rock and the hard place in Jacksonville, man. And the coach, you know what I'm saying, the brother, those, you know what I'm saying, those decisions are going to come down on the coach. It's going to come down on the quarterback. Guess what? You get a quarterback a sizable raise. You can't fire him. So, Jacksonville probably had aspirations of moving the needle. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the Texans kind of, you know what I'm saying, just turning their whole fortunes around with C.J. Stroud in 1 year. And here you have the seasoned quarterback. I get it. The Urban Meyer fiasco, you can't use it as no excuse no more. You know what I'm saying? So they are desperate for a win, man. So I can see why Vegas would kind of favor them.
Yeah, absolutely. Some other news kind of before we go around the league. Devontae Adams has requested a trade from the Las Vegas Raiders. The Jets, Cowboys, and Steelers are some of the names mentioned who could be going after Devontae Adams. His time in Oakland or Vegas is basically done. He's going to be out the next 1 or 2 weeks with an injury. I find that very convenient, and it would not shock me, John, if he ends up even a Saint to be up with his buddy Carr, who ended up getting traded.
Right.
He was pissed off there, or he ends up being a New York Jet with old Aaron Rodgers again. I think those two have more the favorable destinations for a Devontae Adams. I would love for it to be Pittsburgh because we need a true number 2 or a true number 1 wide receiver besides
Right.
Pickens could go to 2, but I don't. That's a pipe dream right there. But I think it'd be either the Saints or it will be the Jets. Your thoughts on Devontae requested?
Plus, I don't know if he with Devontae does really fit with what Pittsburgh's trying to do right now. I mean, they could help. I mean, it would help. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, is he going to milk it? Is he going to sulk after 6 games? You know what I'm saying? If things don't necessarily go as planned, you know what I mean? I don't know if he makes his way to Pittsburgh. I don't see Dallas either. You know what I'm saying? They kind of turned some of their fortunes around with that win that they had. You know what I'm saying? Albeit nobody believed in it because, you know what I'm saying, because of the opponent. But again, they kind of, you know, so Jerry Jones is talking about we only have so much money. I'm like, wow, damn, Jerry, when did you start penny pinching? But so the Jets maybe. I don't know what that draft capital looks like. That remember in a return, you know. But yeah, I can see the Jets or the Saints for sure.
Okay. Some news around the league, John. Cowboys won 20-15 over the Giants on Thursday. Bengals got their first win over the Panthers this past week. Bears 24-18 winners over the Rams. Vikings improved to 4-0. Packers were making a late charge, scored 22 in the fourth quarter. Vikings win 31-29. Texans continue to roll. Man, I think a couple surprisers for me. Broncos beat the Jets 10-9.
Yeah, it was a real ugly game for the well, you know, it's an ugly game for the Broncos because our guy Bo Nixon is on a learning curve. This is rookie season, right? So offensively, they kind of struggle. What you're surprised at, which I was surprised at when I tapped into that game, man, was that Aaron Rodgers just didn't have it. Just didn't have it. The defense is still pretty rock solid. You know what I'm saying? The coach, and Aaron Rodgers ain't on the same page, man. Not at all.
No.
And right. And this is not, you know what I'm saying, this is a different scenario. Like, you can't fire the coach, you know what I'm saying, that, but you can't fire the coach because he's failed with how many quarterbacks now. And, like, you know what I'm saying, you can't have Sam Darnold out here lighting it up when at one point you had Sam Darnold in your organization. You had Sam Darnold in your locker room. You know what I'm saying? You should have had, you know what I mean? So, I don't think, what's the kid? Is it Salah? I know I'm jacking up his name. I don't necessarily know. I know we're still a couple games in. I know they're coming off of this. It looked bad, bro. 9 points. Yeah, they were thinking plug and play MVP Aaron Rodgers, and it's not Aaron Rodgers, and the coach ain't on the same page. So, like, I don't know. They got that's a you know, it could be worse. You could be New England if you're the Jets. You could be the New England Patriots, right? But I don't foresee no, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we'll win a couple more games, sure, but I don't foresee no deep playoff run for the Jets at all.
Are you concerned with the Philadelphia Eagles? They got stomped at Tampa, which they got beat by Tampa last year in the playoffs. But are you concerned with the way the Eagles have started out?
You got to be. Same thing, man. Jalen Hurts and the coach, they ain't on the same page. And it's buzz. So, like, what like, Brandon, I mean, you know, we kind of want to see Jalen Hurts mixing it up, right? Yeah, I mean, I get it, man. We don't want to keep on putting these quarterbacks and running, you know what I'm saying, running plays or whatnot, because that kind of, you know what I'm saying, shortens their career potentially. But, you know what I'm saying, they had Jalen Hurts just flinging it like he was Peyton.
Uh-huh.
And you know, they have it, and I'm not saying Jalen ain't no good. You know, I'm not saying Jalen can't fling it, but, like, man, I just thought it's just weird. They're not on the same page. If you thought that just because the Philadelphia Eagles at one point flirted with a Super Bowl or it was in the Super Bowl at some point in the last 2 seasons or whatnot, you think that all they need to do is just, you know what I'm saying, do this right with the defense or get this right with the – nah, man, the coach and the coach, right, who's from the Coach family – he's from the Coach family tree, right? the coach and the quarterback. And like, man, I kind of even go back to the comments he said about Saquon. They were like, you know, what I'm saying, when Saquon after the it wasn't a fumble, but he passed him the ball. It was right into his hands, like hands of stones. Saquon Barkley. I don't know, man. I don't think everybody is happy in Philadelphia with one another, man. So that, you know, that story remains to be seen. They still got enough talent to turn the things around, but
right.
You had to be highly concerned. You had to be highly concerned about what's going on with the Philadelphia Eagles.
How impressed are you on the flip side? How impressed are you with the NFC East leading Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels?
Because our man Jay Daniels, man, you got to tip your cap to. I said last week, man. I said something wrong. I said Herman Edwards. Herman Edwards had Jay Daniels out of Arizona State. Unfortunately, that's kind of the only quarterback that he had. It's funny if you look up somewhere on the web, you can see after he transferred Arizona State, all those guys had said they was like, we didn't want him no way. And you know what I'm saying? Here he went to LSU, and they didn't win the national championship, but he goes to LSU and wins the Heisman, and now he's lauded as, you know what I'm saying, gets to the NFL, he's lauded as that next deal. Very impressive from Jaden Daniels. Seems very poised. Whether you put him in the pocket or whether you put him in a little bit of a run action. I don't think Sam Howell still backing up. I don't think we'll see Sam Howell, you know what I'm saying, ever again unless Jay Daniels gets hurt, you know what I'm saying, anything like that. But, like, no, man, he's got the Commanders going in the right direction.
Browns, I personally think the Deshaun Watson experience is over. You got to get rid of him. I know that's a hell of a contract, but it's not working. It's not working.
Nah, that's the best. I don't want to go further into it, man.
No Diddy.
There's a lot. There's no Diddy. There's a lot of moving parts involved in that particular conversation. But yeah, it's not working. What they want, and he's not even the same quarterback no more. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know if they cut him. That's a lot to eat off from the salary cap and from a business standpoint, and you still have years left to pay on it or whatnot. But a benching that could happen.
Yeah. It's. I mean, I don't know why they didn't keep Flacco, right? I mean, at least that'd be.
Well, because he's 100.
I mean, he came in, he serviceable the other night. So. Flacco's old team, the Ravens, 35-10, just straight ass whipping woodshed to the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I'm surprising, man. That was surprising. I thought we'd get a little bit more push out of the Bills, but that was surprising.
Yeah,
Ravens are back in, but that's why you know what I'm saying. I mean, Pittsburgh got games up on everybody. I don't, you know what I mean. Will they slide a couple more games and little? You kind of said last week you think the Ravens, you know, they started out bad, and you know, everything kind of evened out. But yeah, man, it's kind of like looks like what they're heading towards.
Dolphins, John. I think as each game passes, I think they're going to be reaching out to Pittsburgh regarding Russell Wilson. If Russell Wilson's PR team has not already reached out to get the word out there that he wants to be traded.
I don't know. That coach, I don't know if he got it, man. He ain't Sean McVay.
Oh.
He ain't, like, man, you would have a different layer. Like, why aren't your backup quarterback, like, they look like they didn't go through practice. You know what I'm saying?
I've never seen a team mail it in more than this team has this early.
Yeah. Looks like, you know what I'm saying, they'll be, you know, I mean, and listen, Tua got hurt, and that was unforeseen. But you can't get a playoff team, and definitely a championship team, is a little bit deeply, it should be a little bit more deeply layered, that even if you lose your starting quarterback, that you can't win games or even score points. They look like you can't be Brandon, you can't be a team to score how many points last year? 70?
Right.
You scored 70 last year. I get a big call of your offense. I'm saying a big call of your offense not out there, but like, nah. So like something else is the problem.
Lions win 42-29 over the Seahawks. Pretty high scoring game between these two. But Lions are 3-1 now. Don't look now.
Don't look now, man. And they had a couple of defensive guys out, but still, do believe how many fumbles? I think they had. No, excuse me. They had 3 sacks and a couple of interceptions. I do believe, man. But you got a great game out of Goff. Did he not miss a pass receiver? I don't think a throw. He was like 18 for 18. Something great, and still didn't have like 100% QB rating or whatever. But no, man, great game out of Jared Goff. I know a lot of people are just automatically, even still, man, a couple of years removed, they just automatically dismiss him from the Rams. And like, nah, he's having a reasserting career, man. Where, you know what I'm saying, we still tracking for him. You know, people still, man. I never thought he was, you know what I'm saying, complete 18 out of 18 for an entire game. So like, no, man, the Detroit Lions had one little slip up, man, but looks like, you know what I'm saying, they ready to dominate that North Division.
Before we go out of the NFL, John, I do want to give a little Mike Tomlin story. I kind of talked to you a little bit on Saturday. I had the privilege to do a escort at our facility with Mike Tomlin and Art Rooney to their guest rooms. One of the coolest experiences I've had in my life, getting to talk with Coach Tomlin. Was really not sure what to expect, if I was going to get a cranky Mike, or you've seen him where he's kind of gone off on whatever. But I will say he was 100% respectful, very very cool. Dabbed me up. We had some good conversation about the city of Indianapolis. We talked about the Circle City Classic that was currently going on that Saturday as well. We just kind of talked to me about, asked me about my fandom with Pittsburgh, how long it's been and where it all started and everything. And then we were talking about food places in the city. His favorite, John, is Steak and Shake. He's a big Steak and Shake guy, so he was going to get some Steak and Shake that night. But very, very cool getting to meet him, and also the Steelers owner, Art Rooney. Just two things on my bucket list that were awesome. And I just won't forget, I had plenty of time to talk with both of them, going up to their rooms. And the cool thing was it was just a couple of us walking. So it was me and Coach for a good 3, 4, 5 minutes. And then when we got on one of the elevators, Omar Khan, the Steelers GM, was with us, and then as well as Najee, which is a big freaking dude. Najee, huge dude in person. I couldn't believe how big he was, but very, very cool moment. And I just thought that I would share that moment. That was awesome for me as a Steeler fan to experience.
That's cool, man. I remember in the download you were telling me I guess he asked you like where you went to school at, where you college, you told Ball State, and he automatically knew what Ball State got going to score up on him this past weekend. Y'all sorry, James Madison blew him out. And like he said, oh, bad. He said, so what did he say? Bad day for the Cardinals.
Bad day for the Cardinals. Yeah, it was a bad day for the Cardinals.
Cool.
So
yeah, Mike Tomlin is definitely tuned into the heartbeat of football. Not just like I said, not just NFL, but like, nah, man, yeah, that's a cool little spot for you, bro.
Yeah, so I was very very cool to do that, and just an opportunity to do that was pretty cool. So. John, I want to kind of go into college football. We have Tanner coming on in about 15 minutes, but I want to dive into some things that have came out. 2 things. Number one, there is a potential, John, for a group of executives and administrators have proposed streamlining college football into a, quote, super league called, and John's going to hate the name and I hate the name, College Student Football League, the CSFL. Details have been in the works for months, John. They were just unveiled yesterday. The plan would we would include the reorganization of 136 football subdivision, so 136 FBS schools into 2 conferences. The top 72 programs in the country would compete in the Power 12 conference, which would then be made up of 12 6-team divisions based on geography. Names based on those regions would be the East, Mid-East, Great Lakes, Midwest, Carolinas, Mid-South, Southeast, South, Plains, Texas, Southwest, and West. The remaining 64 teams, most of them would be in the current group of 5, would compete in a group of 8 conference. Divisions that would include East, Mid-East, Midwest, Atlantic, Southeast, South Central, and West. According to the release, John, some of those top teams in the group of 8 would be eligible for promotion to the Power 12 conference the following season, but there would be no regulation of schools from the Power 12 to the group of 8, kind of like you have with soccer overseas in the Premier League.
You said it. You said, hey man, hey man, I'm about to sound like Jay Query, bro. That's soccer. Hey man, they kind of do soccer shit. Sorry, Brandon, I'm getting mad. They kind of, because they're trying to reach it. They're trying to branch it out to more international people, so that because international people don't understand the freaking Big Ten, international people don't understand the SEC. They don't understand the precedence that people like me and you care about, fandom. You know what I'm saying? But I'm getting ready to tell you, y'all, that when when California flew all the way over to Florida State last week and didn't put up another freaking 9 points, I'm guarantee you they had a strong talk with the athletic director. You mean to tell me we chartered a flight? You know what I'm saying? So like, and that's just one of the games, man. That don't make no damn sense. You know what I mean? Or a conference for them to be in that particular conference, man. So fandom. And you also have to, you know what I'm saying? I get it. Trying to break, that drives me crazy. Trying to make it to a bigger audience, man. If it's perfect and it's making $1 billion trillion, man, like, why are you trying to make the 20 trillion? That's just greed. You know what I mean? But, like, the one, I can't remember. But kids do it all the time. I don't want to go to that school because my family, even though we live in a rocket world where airline prices and all that, you know what I'm saying, is less value, you know what I'm saying, don't cost that much more. Man, my folks just want to drive down, you know what I'm saying, to Bloomington and watch me play basketball. That's it. Or West Lafayette, you know what I'm saying, something drivable. I can't drive all the way to, you know what I'm saying, California to watch you play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
let me give you a little bit of the layout, how it would look at right now. The Power 12 regular season would be 13 games over 15 weeks. 5 division games, 8 non-division games. Prior season's top 36 schools would earn a 7th home game. So you either be 6 home games or 7 home games, 6 away games. Preference how they would do it. Number 1 would be geographic proximity. 2 would be historical rivalries. 3 in-state rivalries. And 4, 100-year look-back frequency of a matchup. So let me give you some of these, how these conferences would break out. They've kind of put out in their plan. In the East, John, it would be Boston College, Maryland, Navy, Notre Dame, Virginia, and Virginia Tech. The Mideast, Cincinnati, Penn State, Pittsburgh, Rutgers, Syracuse, West Virginia. The Great Lakes would be Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Michigan State, Northwestern, and Purdue. The Midwest would be Iowa, Iowa State, Minnesota, Nebraska, Ohio State, and Wisconsin. Your thoughts early on those?
Like, all sounds sweet and gravy. There ain't no money games on some of those programs.
Well, they would you'd only have 5 division games, and then your other 8 games would be non-division. So you could play everybody outside your little division. Right.
But you telling me the Cincinnatis of the world, the Marshalls of the world, they own some other slight division?
Well, Marshall would not be in the top 70, 72 schools, according to this. They would have to play into it.
Right. Well, right. They had to play into it.
But I don't know how you would do that because it would go up because nobody would ever be relegated, right? So that top 72 then just increases, what, to 80? And then we get right back to the amount where we're at now.
Right, because every other year you're going to have somebody that's a little bit better than than whoever's in the Power 5. It happens. It's happening right now.
Let me give you your Mid-South. Mid-South would be Alabama, Auburn, Kentucky, Louisville, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt. Your Southeast would be Florida, Florida State, Georgia, Georgia Tech, Miami Hurricanes, and UCF. I understand. I understand what they're doing here, and I'm not 100% against it. I will tell you, I'm not 100% against this. What I am against, though, is figuring out, okay, if you're the people that do well, you're gonna say, hey, guess what? You can be up to promotion. You'd be some of the top teams in the Group A would be eligible for promotion to the Power 12 Conference the following season, but there would be no relegation schools to the Power 12. Okay, you have the Power 12, so you're going to have uneven divisions then, where you're going to go from the 172 schools right back in what you could be 12 years from now. You'd be right back into the damn 136 subdivision that we currently have right now. It's just there has to be some relegation, and I know that's going to put some schools butthurt that they're going to go from this, and it could be a power school, but look at yourselves like a Florida State where you dog shit and you might have to be relegated. I'm not against it. It's to keep up with the times, but I think you gotta. I'm there, John. I'm like 60% there, because we're already making changes. We might as well just go full out if we're going to make changes, because I like this better than the second option I'm about to give you that was presented.
Okay, well, one, Notre Dame ain't gonna never join no conference. Ever.
They don't have to join a conference, a division.
They ain't gonna join. They'll play whoever you say that they're gonna play, but they're not gonna join in no conference, right? And if Michigan and Ohio State ain't together in some type of way, it will never work for the Midwest. It will never work. They have to be together. I know it sounds crazy.
Speaking of our guys, Ball State would be in the Group of 8 conference. The Midwest of Ball State, Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Middle Tennessee, Missouri State, Northern Illinois, Western Kentucky, and Western Michigan. That would be Ball State's, quote, division.
Okay.
I like that version. I'm not against this. I kind of like it. I think you still need to do some tweaking. The one I don't like is a report that ESPN came out with, John, of a new agreement that would allow at least 8 Big Ten and SEC schools to qualify for the college football playoff, assuming the SEC follows the Big Ten's lead and transition into a 9-game conference. Ultimately, this partnership would be the next step towards a Power 2 league. The SEC and the Big Ten already own a vast majority of TV rights and revenue share. The SEC games are broadcast on ABC and ESPN, where the Big Ten's includes Fox, CBS, and NBC, where that deal would be, hey, guess what? 8 of the 12 spots automatically go to our teams here in the Big Ten and the SEC because we bring in the most money. I like the first version of the Super League better than this thing.
So the second one, just think about it, just in your mind, think about a school that always is flirting with, we can get into one of these bowl games and be relevant, like a mid-major.
I was going to say like Oklahoma State.
Okay, if I'm a mid-major or even a high major that got a little cachet, I'm telling this super conference, you can kiss my wrist, man, because I'm not your lapdog. I'm not here for you to take my recruits. I'm not here for you to, because, hey, man, Brandon, you know the truth. Can't nobody, the dollars that go through Alabama is the dollars that go through Alabama. That's the reason, the recruiting is the reason why they look like who they are, the number one team in America, because they got money coming through there flowing. Ohio State the same way. Michigan the same way. So, like, at some point, yeah, man, a mid-major, you know what I'm saying, they pull together their resources and whatnot, and they have, you know what I'm saying, 1 or 2 good seasons out of 5. Right. You know what I'm saying? However long they got a coach there at that time span. But, like, consistently, are they going to continue to be there? You know what I'm saying, be and winning? No. So, like, man, this super conference, man, if I'm a mid-major team like that, or even a high major, like, I don't want no parts of that. I don't want no parts of that because I'm not your lapdog. I had to build my program. I'm not trying to get fired. I'm not trying to go into this conference with my athletic director or my president saying, why the hell you couldn't beat, you know what I'm saying, so on a Saturday. Gosh darn it, you know what I'm saying, you got me playing, you know what I'm saying, Tennessee today, and you got me playing, you know what I'm saying, Michigan tomorrow. How the hell can you the rubber meet the road when all I'm getting, you know what I'm saying, their program is bringing in, you know what I'm saying, $3 million an hour, and our program is bringing $3 million a year. Regardless of the TV money and all that bullshit, baloney, because guess what? If they gave you $40 million, they gave Michigan $40 million. They gave, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, man, that super conference is bananas. That's crazy. And if I was a mid-major or a high major, I wouldn't play you. I'm like, all right, man, you gonna give us $1 million to come play you? For what? so that you.
Well,
can
John, hold on. The
so you can
super
make the
conference you would not be playing. You part of that super league, John, is the super league. You're not playing the group of 8 schools. You're playing everybody that's in the Power 12 conference. You get maybe
Yeah.
one game in the group of 8, and then the rest are one of the 72 schools that you play in your Power conference.
People would say they like it, but I don't think so, man.
Now the
I
second
really
version,
don't.
where 4 teams would get in from the Big 10, 4 get in from the SEC. That's your 8 of the 12. I think the more I think about it, we're already seeing it, right? If we look at the rankings right now, 8 of the 12, or probably 9 of the 12, are all freaking, Big 10 SEC, besides the Pac-12 getting their in, not the Pac-12, but the Big 12 getting theirs in, and the ACC getting theirs in, and then the Group of 5 team. That's 3. Hell, the other 9 are probably already from the Big 10, the SEC. So some people have told me that. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's already there. But personally, if we're making change, why don't we just rip the Band-Aid off and do this Power League? I'm starting to get more and more involved with it.
Well, somebody just texted me, Brandon. So, am I protecting the one-loss records?
You're trying to.
You know what I'm saying? A team went 12-1. But there's something about that when a team goes undefeated, though. Yes or no?
Scott K. Nichols, our sponsor, John, says NIL money makes MAC schools feeder programs to the big boys. They'll always take the money, JB.
Yeah, so that's what's that's what's happening right now. And again, like if I'm Ball State, why am I go down there? But you're saying it's not gonna happen in the second scenario. They won't play. They wouldn't even have to. They couldn't play Miami.
Correct.
They wouldn't be on their schedule. But why am I going down there? I'm going down there to get my head kicked in for $1 million.
Because you're getting NIL money. That money should be going to your program and to the players that you want to bring in there. Theoretically, that's what should happen.
Then what should happen is I'm picking on New. You should get better players.
At that point, if you're not, you need to get a whole new regime in there, a new coaching staff, and somebody that's going to go in there and do it, because we're getting you all this money. We're playing the Tennessees, we're playing the Vanderbilts, we're playing the Miamis. We're getting all this money. Now, here's the thing. Do we really know where that money is going to? Is it going to the university? Is it just going to the athletic department? Is it going to the football thing? I probably have a strong inkling it's not even going to completely all to the football department. They may be only getting that 15%, and the rest is going to the athletic department to help fund these other programs as well. Because you got to think, they're doing some NIL.
Right.
So I think if you deep down look at it, and I'll research it myself if I can, it's probably going to the athletic department more than it is to the football players to help with there, and it gets spread out where you say, hey, we're getting $2.6 million. Let's go to NIL for our football team and let's do this. Well, it'd be nice, but I guarantee that athletic director is going to sit there and let's divvy out some of this for women's basketball, for men's basketball. How about men's volleyball? Let's get NIL for this. By the time football gets it, they've got 10%, right? That's where the head coach needs to fight for more money. If we're going down there getting our teeth kicked in, what the hell are we doing this for? Because you're going to fire me if I have enough of these bad games.
Right. Here's why it won't work out. None of them divisions work out for basketball at all. Not at all.
Well, this will be just football, I believe. From what I'm seeing. It's just a college. All it is a college football super league. I hate the name. They need to change the name. College Student Football League. Jesus Christ. Pay me. I'll give up. I'll bring you a good name. The CSFL, the College Student Football League. Let's we got a caller real quick. Let's take it here. See what his thoughts are. Nas, what you think of this potential super league?
What they tell you in the Matrix, it's inevitable, Mr. Anderson. This was always what was going to happen. The idea that we were going to always have a 4-team playoff and that the super conferences weren't going to take all the money off the table, I think a lot of us were kind of naive in that thinking, man. This is no different than any other industry you can think of where a monopoly is formed, and that monopoly is going to dictate to everyone. I'd be surprised if the small independent schools and if the smaller schools who come for, the big check against big state U, I'm surprised they don't make them cut the grass before they play the game. Like, brother, this is going to be the haves and the have-nots on steroids. And to a degree, it's always been that. It's just we've covered it in so many different, cloaking mechanisms, the concept of student athletes, the concept of college athletics, all these other things that we've come up with to kind of hide the dirty underbelly of what this is. But nah, brother, this is what it's going to be. The big dogs are going to eat, and the smaller schools are going to have to figure out their own situation, I'm guessing, with the NCAA, while the bigger schools are just going to tell the NCAA to go spit and form their own thing. Like, this was always in the works. And now with NIL and everything kind of above board.
Yeah, that just seems because it comes off a little historically reckless. And I get that, you know what I'm saying, the NCAA has always kind of just said pat or whatever and kind of just let things happen. I just don't I don't know, man. I don't know, man. The dynamics of college football, like some of those games are still money games. Like, even like your rivalry games, you put me in with my natural born rival ain't there no more. You know what I'm saying? Because like some schools have more than one rival.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think you'd still have some of those in your 5 games.
Go ahead. Even if that rival is a lesser division, you know, so people kind of look up to it, look for it. So, man, good luck,
brother. I'll put it to you like this: we always talk about these rivalries, and we love them so much. Guess what? New rivalries will be formed, and you can also set up home and aways with some of the rivals that you feel like are important enough to do it. Just go back to when Texas told the rest of the Big 12, we're having our own TV station here, and we're taking majority of the money, and the rest of you are just going to accept. And they did. Y'all remember that era? So, like, why are we surprised that this is what's going on? The only thing that's been stopping all of this was the idea of amateurism, which is a whole nother concept we can get to. And for those who read that Taylor Branch piece years ago about the concept of student athletes and what the NCAA did in order to kind of justify these things, that's just the way it is. And I'm not saying this as like a guy who's down in it. Hey, I want to see some great conference play and great games. And we're just going to be watching semi-professional college football. And basketball, I think you can kind of create the same scenario. Basketball super conferences. Well, yeah, you lose some of the rivalries, but when it comes down to it, man, the ones who pay the bills, they're the ones who play the tune, and everybody else has to dance.
Right. Well, I mean rivalry. There's money games that come behind that, though. That's what I'm saying. Like the gate. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That and like the media hype and all those things, man. I could never imagine a world, and it has happened where Duke didn't play North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? So that, I mean, obviously or Purdue didn't play Indiana, but like their gates be outrageous. You know what I'm saying? And would come with
it. Yeah, but you're describing what would be necessary for the basketball conferences, though. Those are the essential pieces. The blue bloods of the basketball world, they would be connected as well, the same way the football is doing. It's just like where he was talking about a few minutes ago, where he was talking about how they come back, these small schools come back with this big check, and then, it's kind of broken up by the athletic department, and kind of the welfare sports get to spend the money. So the tennis team is flying places. The golf team is flying places. Really no way to justify that once you get beyond Title IX and the idea of equity and the money having to be spent. Once you start getting into what we're getting into now, which is professional sports, all of that stuff is going to go out the window, gentlemen. And again, I hate to be the bearer of bad news on all this stuff, but I think we've all seen this coming, man. Like, there's going to be so much money around. And at that point, people lose all of that, I guess you get all the sentiment about how this rivalry is so important or this fan base and that fan base. Hey, man, your baseball team, they need to take a bus and play another local baseball team. That stuff's not going to be paid for from football and basketball anymore when it comes to these bigger conferences because they're just going to start cutting people out and enjoying a larger and larger pie. As we eventually
right, but see, then, so
football playoff for
bring up a great
32
point.
teams, bro.
Right, so you bring up a great point. The NCAA technically won't all go away because the TV people and the marketing people are currently in control. If you try to make football and basketball like a soccer division or whatever, great. Here's the issue I'm trying to tell you. These money games, they even at the smaller divisions, the Butlers of the world, the Marshall, who just, you know what I'm saying, who's a football school, but not necessarily a football powerhouse or football, you know what I'm saying, but like in the mid-major, like the corporate, like I can't foresee it. I really can't. And I'm not saying you know what I'm saying, you're wrong in your vision. Brandon's 6% on this super conference kind of thing happening. I just can't foresee it because the more and more you pull from whatever source that you was, whatever source, whether it be the mid-majors, we pull some of those athletes over here, or TV thought that this could be a money game, and if that game don't rate a certain way, the TV people gonna be like, oh man, how could we put that terrible game? Blah 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 blah. You see what I'm saying? So at some point, it's all like money is gonna be out there. I get that, but I really can't see it dissolving all the way. I can't because I can't see it dissolving because all these. I can't see it dissolving because you can try to sell. You can try to sell me on. Give me a division game, Brand. A Navy. That's terrible. You can try because they do. I was gonna say Notre Dame, but they do that. They had that game already. You can try to sell me on some conference game that features. I don't know, football. I'm talking football. The conference game that features Oregon, right, and LSU. That's the big time game. But like you can't. That won't even be in their conference because that being a super conference. But like you still gonna miss out. They still hurting. They are. They still hurting right now from a football standpoint. Oregon State is hurting because they don't have that full slate of Pac-12 games. Oklahoma. Who's now fully encloaked into the SEC schedule. Now they can't bounce back into, we don't have an Arizona who might be ranked 17th, and we can bounce back up into national conversation. You won't have that. So unless you're saying Poland is going away, it might where you have SuperCon, Poland might go away, and some of these talking heads might go away. It could happen because we have less now. We used to have Mike and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And the sports reporters and everything else, you know what I'm saying? Now we know that we have now. But like I really can't proceed because you talking that if you're saying this is going away and that's going away, and you're talking about a whole lot of institutions, more so, I get it to the athletes, but even you get a whole lot of institutions going away that everybody ain't looking at. Right now, Oklahoma, dude, they was like sad after the game because you know what? It just gets tougher for you. You done jumped into the SEC pot, right? Where you just can't jump into a Baylor game or you can't jump into a game with Colorado. You know what I mean? Now they got to play whoever else, and they now this tough game. I don't know. I know I'm getting long-winded. I do apologize, but I can't see it necessarily.
The good news, it sounds good on paper, but it's doubtful because each football subdivision would have to conference have to agree on the change. There's already existing television contracts, which are already extended somewhere in the early 2030s. So I don't know how they would get out of it, but it's intriguing.
They have intriguing, right? Well, hold on. Let's think about the importance of live sports. When you talk about TV and you say, "Hey, this game didn't rate the way it was supposed to," well, with live sports, you got to think about those as viewership floors for television stations. No matter what, even if it doesn't hit its rating, the fact that it's live TV, you can't DVR it, you can't wait on it, you have to watch the event. They're very valuable for TV networks no matter what. That's why the NBA, after all of the past 2 years of people telling us the NBA was in decline, people aren't watching, and then you saw those huge deals come in, you realize, live sports are more important than what we think. Just think of the whole map of the United States as TV areas, kind of like rackets. And when you think of it from that standpoint, you say, okay, Oregon is in the playing these teams in the Big Ten. What does that mean? That means you get the regional viewership out there on the Northwest and that part in the Midwest. So you're just combining these things into these huge fountains of money that just keep springing up more money. We started off with 4 as the playoff. Where are we now? Eventually, we're going to get to 32. That's all I'm saying. Like, the money is pointing. And again, just think about these things as TV market. So a place like University of Houston, huge market television-wise, they're going to probably get a better deal than what people are thinking and be in a better conference than what people are thinking, just based on the idea of TV. Same thing for the Carolina schools and, so on and so on. So, yeah, man, this is coming. There's just too much money not to do it. And again, I feel bad for the smaller schools, but yeah, that's going to be your amateurism. That's going to be what we used to see as, student athletes playing sports against each other. And this other stuff is going to be more professional. And as far as tradition, it's a change. When I was a kid, we had something called the Big Eight. Y'all remember that?
Yep.
How quickly did we move on to we're watching the Big 12 and you never thought about the Big 8 again? Same thing is going to happen with these. But I know I took up too much of y'all time.
Oh, you're good, Nas.
This is an interesting topic. I love it, man. So
Perfect. Appreciate it, Nas. Thanks for calling.
all right, y'all.
All right, that's our guy, Nas. John, we got another guy on. We got to bring him on.
That I'm the dirtiest player in the game. The dirty.
He's the
I'm writing
dirtiest.
a book right now. The dirtiest player in the game. I will stop at nothing to stay on top. Stop at nothing. I will not move out of that big house. I will drive nothing but Mercedes or Rolls Royce. I will go nowhere on a commercial airliner. I will ride in nothing but limousines. And I will make love to nothing but the best looking women in the world. You know why? Because I'm a winner at all costs.
He's a winner at all costs. Let's bring him on. Tanner Penrod. T, what's going on?
What's happening, fellas? Just watching a little playoff baseball.
Yeah, my future bet on the Orioles, one of them just went up in smoke.
Yeah, that's what. Well, yeah, you should have just put it on the Padres. That's who I think could win it all.
I've got
Oh, wow.
3 out there. Hey, is that Fatty Chris Christie there in the front row? Looks like it is. I've got 3 futures left. I had 4. I've got 3 left. I have one on the Mets. I've got one on the Phillies, which will suck next round because they'd probably play each other. And the other one I had on was the Guardians.
I saw Chris Christie over there, but gosh damn, that chick that's sitting behind the home plate got her judge out there. In that blue dress.
Hey, got to, man. She's got to. She's got to.
I mean, they're just out there. I know when you get ready to take a peek here in a second, you're going to see what I'm talking about.
Blue shirt. Yep.
Blue shirt right behind home.
Jonathan started on the baseball game now. Gentlemen,
Yeah.
college football, before we get started, Boilermakers fire Graham Harrell. I said that ain't enough. Ryan Walters still needs to be fired himself.
Is that Graham Harris? Was I right? Was he the guy that played at Texas Tech? I
Yes.
swear he was the
Yeah, it
quarterback
was.
at Texas Tech.
Yep.
Okay.
He can go back down there for all I care. So, but yeah, Walters needs to be gone next. So we'll see. Last week, gentlemen, let's clap it up. Another great week for everybody. I went 7-3-1. Jonathan went 8-2-2, and Tanner
Amen.
went 8-3-1. Tanner won his double up. Jonathan, poor Jonathan, he pushed his double up, and overall though, Jonathan going into the last 2 games of the night, Jonathan was 8-0. Jonathan had a chance for a sweep for the weekend, and the last 2 games, the Arizona game and the Oregon game, both failed him. So overall, I'm 31-22-2. Jonathan is 33-19-3. Tanner's 27-26-2. Now these records aren't going to add up like they should, just because with the overalls and says because we have our new double ups that we are doing. So, gentlemen, this week we've got 10 games on the docket. I did remove 1, so we have 10 games, and at the end afterwards, you're going to give me your double up that you like that you're going to choose for this week. But before we go, real quick. Let's just talk. Let's just recap, gentlemen. The main game last week that was crazy, the craziest game I've seen in a while. Alabama, Georgia. Holy cow! Talk about the tale of 2 halves, huh?
Man, I thought you were going to talk about Maryland.
Stop it.
No,
man. I thought you were going to talk about James Madison Ball State then, game of the week thing.
Right. No, man, that was That Alabama Georgia game was crazy, man. What was it? They was 30-3 at halftime.
Something like that, yeah.
Was that the halftime score? Something ridiculous, man. And then for Georgia to, basically kind of storm all the way back, but could come up short just a tad bit. Kind of just reflects why me and Brandon still have them in our top 5. But like, no, man, Alabama, the new era, the new coach. This is same results, man. They ain't scared of Georgia. I liked it.
Yeah, Tanner.
Yeah, it just, Bama's still Kirby Smart's arch nemesis. He can't do it, man. He just can't. How about that 17-year-old wide receiver for Alabama? Son of a bitch, he's barely out of diapers, and he's out there making the biggest plays than ever out there. I
jumped out of bed for the Georgia touchdown.
By the time he's going to be in the NFL before he's 20.
Yeah.
So
I jumped out of bed when Georgia scored their touchdown, and then I could barely sit back down when Alabama said, "You know what? We're going to come right back at you with another punch."
Yeah, he did.
I didn't like the pass from Carson back towards the end. I thought it was too soon to go to the end zone.
Yep. I thought he forced it too. I'm like, he didn't need to check that. Yeah, I thought that felt forced.
Yeah, I thought it was as well. So
yeah.
Hopefully we'll see these two teams play again. I think there's a good chance, obviously, with the college football playoff coming up. So, and even maybe the SEC championship again. Those two teams could.
Georgia's got a tough road to go.
They do.
I was just listening to a pod. Georgia's got a tough road. Bama's probably got the easiest road. Texas has got some competition coming up too, so that's going to be. Wait to see what happens there.
Yep. Let's dive right on in, gentlemen, to our games this week. First game on the docket. Let me make sure I didn't get a chance today. I was a little busy. I didn't get a chance to update spreads, but
What game did you drop?
Shit, I forget. It was one of the bottom ones. It was like the second to last one on the bottom.
Probably the one I like the best.
Probably. I would have to go back and look real quick. Let me see.
Did you leave Lane Train on there, or did you pull him?
Let me check. I'm trying to pull up two screens at once. Lane Train stays on there. I pulled shit. This is great radio, by the way. Quick look.
No, you're good.
I pulled SMU and Louisville. That's who I pulled.
Damn it. I think all right, well, I think SMU covers that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. I know it's off there. I was listening to the thing just real quick. Right there. That could be a super dog of the week. I was reading the thing. They said they might be able to beat them double digits. I'm going to be real quick. They said if Notre Dame had a passing game, they would have been able to give it to Louisville a little bit more. But since they couldn't pass, and SMU has a nice air attack, they said it's going to give Louisville a little bit of trouble.
Louisville had piss poor clock management, I thought, as well at the end last week.
Damn, dude.
So,
Just god awful. But first game on the docket, Purdue at Wisconsin. The line is currently Wisconsin minus 14. Jonathan.
Purdue at Wisconsin?
That's went up that much. I like the 12.5.
Do you know the halftime game Purdue and Nebraska was 0-0? I thought something was wrong with my phone.
I know you texted me and asked, and I said, "No, it's the score."
I thought it was 19. I thought it was 19-13.
Reef loved
and
that.
they were playing with Leather Hill.
Yeah, I was loving it at the time.
Man. Oh, go, hey man, and then hold on. I'll get on Wisconsin too, man. I don't want to keep on, think that we hate Purdue just because they didn't give us our media credentials this year. I don't want to put that out there, Brandon. But listen, man, Wisconsin had rolled up. They had put suckers to bed at USC, but unfortunately, Luke, they didn't know that bedtime. They do on West Coast time, and it's a 3-hour time difference, man. And they didn't score a point.
Tanner was not happy.
And USC scored 30. And that's
no,
man.
That game was
man.
Me and Jonathan covered that one. Me and Jonathan covered with USC.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That was Wisconsin was in. That should have won that. Covered that with ease. That was a bullshit game.
Perfect. So Jonathan, who you like?
Hold on, I forgot the damn game. I like
Purdue and Wisconsin. Wisconsin by 14.
No, there's no way. There's no way.
Give me Badgers. I'll snap call.
Wisconsin, man, rolling it. Wisconsin rolling that, man.
I've taken Purdue every time, thinking this could be it, right? That they're gonna figure out something to do something. I thought it was homecoming.
What?
They might have some life for homecoming. They got that ass handed to them by Nebraska. They almost covered. They're going up to Whiskey. They have a new offensive coordinator. The guy was just calling plays down here as administrator in Indianapolis.
He's a believer.
Give me Wisconsin. Give me Wisconsin. Now this will be the time where Purdue will cover. So
I know it.
Western Michigan minus. Let me make sure this is right. -9 now. Western Michigan -9 against Ball State here in Muncie. Tanner.
I mean, all this money's coming. Is Ball State that bad? Are they going to fire Coach New middle of the year?
They covered for me last week, or they didn't cover for me, but I had last week James Madison -21.5. Easy.
I did too. They 63-7 Ball State. God damn.
Hey Tanner, I don't know if you heard earlier. I got an experience to walk with Coach Tomlin and Art Rooney when they arrived at our hotel on Saturday.
Yeah.
On the elevator, Coach was asking me kind of what school I went to and everything. I said I went to Ball State and everything. He goes, "Ooh, didn't look too good for the Cardinals today." I said, "No, it was not. They got the boat raced."
I was said this week. I said, "Have you not seen the last two? Been outscored 124-7, son." Gosh. And as much as I want to take Ball State, I do this week, actually. I mean, Coach Duke can only get blown out so many times. I'm going to go Ball State this week. They're at home. But it could also be a last. They're getting close to the Purdue where I just won't take them. Don't care how. Yeah, so they're getting there. So, but with that being said, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's a lot of public money coming up there that early, maybe coming out on there. So I'm gonna go against the public probably because I mean that's a lot of money. That's already changed a point and a half. I'm gonna go the other way. Give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, via DraftKings, Ball State's getting 39% of the bets, but 17% of the money. I'm going to take Ball State as well. 9 points at home. Mike News got to show some life in this program. I'm going to take Cardinals. John?
I think he plays some teams that I don't know, man. James Madison, I thought of him a little bit better, but you know what I'm saying, James Madison is on a mission. You know what I'm saying, for recognition. You know what I'm saying, as they jump divisions, man. But I ain't gonna never go against the home team, man. Ball State at home, they should win that, get that out. Give me Ball State.
Next game is going to be Missouri at Texas A&M. John, will let you go first. The odds right now, give me 1 second to find that game again because I feel like we have a change.
Missouri edge. I feel like Missouri like edge.
2.5. Texas A&M -2.5 at home. John.
Wow. No, I'm gonna go with Missouri.
Okay. I'm gonna go Missouri as well. I don't like that quarter. I took Texas A&M when they played Notre Dame, and I saw that quarterback come out and do his little prissy shit. You can't win with a guy like that behind your under center. So give me Missouri.
I'm with you on Missouri. I read a thing that was like the last 6 or 7 games that A&M's had against ranked teams at home. They can't cover worth a shit. They're like 0-5 and a push, 0-5 and 1. They say that quarterback is the one that started the first 2 weeks, which is the better one, the better thrower. They said he's a game time decision. I think that'll make the game a little bit better for or give A&M more of a chance, probably. But I don't know if he's going to play or not. So I'll keep my eye on it. But if he's definitely sitting out, I think I know Missouri's schedule's been kind of soft and they haven't had to play anybody. But I think their defensive line's a little bit better. Might get that pass rush going, get that guy a little trouble. So with that being said, give me Missouri.
Okay. Next one, Auburn at Georgia. Georgia 24-point favorites. This one, Tanner, will let you go first.
24 is probably too much. I'm going to be quick, but I've been thinking about it. I think Georgia's probably going to have some revenge on their mind. But, man, Auburn just lost 2 again. It would have been nice if Auburn would have won that game last week against Oklahoma in this game right here. I'm probably going to get that's a large favorite to take. It's probably got to come back and bite me right in the ass. But I think the Bulldogs are going to be hungry at home. They're going to want to put it on them. And just that, I'm just going to go with the Bulldogs there. But I really don't like this game too much. Betting-wise, I'm not going to bet it. So, but
Okay.
I'm going to take the Bulldogs, but it'll probably bite me in the ass.
Okay. Jonathan.
Yeah, Kirby Smart, after a loss, man, he'll have the team motivated, man. They're going to blow Auburn out.
Yep, I'm going to snap call, take Georgia minus the 24 as well. I think they easily beat the shit out of this Auburn team. Hey, I had Oklahoma money line and Oklahoma spread last week, so I was very invested in this game. So
I think that was wasn't that my pick too? I think that was my double up game. I liked it.
I think it was, yeah. So
I think it was, yeah.
Next game, gentlemen, number 23, Indiana Hoosiers minus 13.5 at Northwestern. Jonathan.
Man, I want to call spoiler so bad to say Northwestern Wildcats. I want to, man, because, man, Coach, man, after the game, he was like, he's saying to Google me. Like, dude, hold
Google
on, man. They come to Indiana for winners, and they follow me. They Google me. I win. Listen, man, I get it, man. He's built in the short term something very special for Indiana. They ain't been 5-0 since like 1987, right? I was in the seventh grade. I don't think some of the folks went on this listen to this show wasn't even born in 87. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I want to say, but I've talked so much crap for the Hoosiers, and for them to get to this point so that they can be ranked. And then they're going to find a game where, you know what I'm saying, where the rubber meets the road. They're going to be looking at somebody that's just as strong as they are, Michigan State or Nebraska. But until then, give me the Hoosiers over Northwestern. They're going to beat Northwestern like they stole something.
Okay. Tanner.
I think if this game was played at Nebraska not Nebraska, Northwestern, or a stadium where they could hold 60 or 70,000. They're playing at this little fucking high school stadium that holds about 20-some thousand over here. I know some people were trying to get tickets, and they're just outrageous because the stadium's so small. As there's another renovation. Like I said, if it was played there, give me the 14 and Northwestern all day. I really like the 12.5 better, so that would have been. I think people that got on it right then was smart because I think they could win. 14 could be a push, maybe, but Big Daddy's got these guys going in the right direction. They get a bye after this week. Hopefully that'll help them get ready for Nebraska. That game will be huge if they can hold on this week. But
right,
I think IU and the over that went forward over to the over as well, and Northwestern's only gave up 50 points combined in their last 2 games. So, but he always finds a way to put up points. I mean, it didn't look like he was going to do a whole lot. They went over again last week. So, with that being said, until he proves to be wrong, almost like the Purdue thing, until they show you wrong, I can't go against them until I feel like the line's too inflated. Give me something else right now. Just give me the Hoosiers right now.
I'm going to take Indiana as well, minus the 13.5. I like what Sig's doing down there. cocky as shit. To that point, he's probably going to lose to somebody he shouldn't lose to. But we've already got people talking about Hoosiers to the college football playoff, John, and people are getting ready for their tickets. Well, I mean, they got a shot, but let's pump the brakes, man. One game at a time. They get humbled here pretty soon, a couple weeks.
I'll tell you what, if they can beat Nebraska and somehow go to the big house and beat Michigan.
No, the big house, that game's at IU.
It's in Bloomington?
Yeah.
I thought it was in there. Yeah. Okay. It's in Bloomington?
They play at Michigan State the week before.
Man.
That's the trap game.
You can bring back. Yeah, Michigan State's the trap game, man. You can. They can beat the both. I told Brandon a couple weeks ago. Last week. I said I think they'll beat one of the Michigan teams. They won't beat both of them. I really do.
I think that Nebraska game, whatever that line is, if I get enough points out of Nebraska, that rule, I might be on Nebraska in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
But they didn't look great. They didn't look great against Purdue. I'll leave it at that.
No, they didn't. But we'll see. Next one, number 15, Clemson, minus 14.5 at Florida State. Florida State 1-4. John.
We back. We back.
I'm with you. If he's talking about Clemson, they're hot as hell. They're putting it on TV.
We back.
Call that in a second.
We back. Hey, I was teasing with Brandon. He don't owe an apology yet, but I will say they did make Brandon's top 10 college football teams this week. So Clemson is on a hot streak, man. They have got better quarterback play out of Club Nick. Yeah, I did. Hell, I got BYU in my 10th team. So there you go. Their love is out there. But man. Club Nick, they got better, play out of Club Nick. Some of the recruits, the younger guys, have stepped up for sure, man. I'm going with Clemson, man. Florida State is moonwalking into wins, man. They don't look good at all. They moonwalking
the wins. They don't got one win.
Yeah, you picked them.
It's just California. Yeah. It's California. DJ Ugalele.
They lost last week.
They're a hot crap sandwich in the red zone. Nah, man, it's just been not a good situation for FSU and Mike Norvell, man. He might be looking in the mirror a couple seasons in where he seemed to exit out. But man, I like Clemson to show that the SEC they still the kings of the SEC. Give me Clemson.
Okay, and Tanner, you called the Clemson pick, correct?
I'm gonna call Clemson. Yeah, Florida State's going deep. I don't even know how for that, so I just call him DJ Ukulele. He's sitting out. They're going to a backup this week. So he's not playing. And like I said, Clemson's going right. I just think this is like a desperate. I don't know if he's hurt or if they're going to try it a different way. But I don't know if feels kind of desperate over there for Florida State. They're going to be. So he's not playing this week. So, and like I said, if Clemson wants to make that ACC championship, they're going to have to run it out. So, what better way than just going down there to old Bobby Valby Field and taking a dub down there away from them. So that'll be huge for Clemson.
Okay. I've been on Clemson's ass all season, even in the preseason. I was on Dabo for the recruiting. Nobody getting the transfer portal. I was on their ass after they got that ass smoked by Georgia to start the season. Jonathan's every week is telling me I'm going to owe them an apology at some point. I can't. Not yet. Dabo and them are they're gonna do the Dabo thing, right? They're gonna come back down to earth because of what they've done and the recruiting and all this. I don't trust the quarterback play, Club Nick. They're gonna finish second in the ACC. Miami's gonna beat them. I've said all those things. Listen, they going to Tallahassee. They may put 60 up in Tallahassee on Florida State. This team is deader than dead. They've been ran over. They've been dragged. They've been turned over and then ran over again down there. I'm taking Clemson minus the 14.5. I even may even bet it up to 20. And boys, I'm kind of giving you a little extra piece here. My double up is Clemson this week. Give me Clemson.
Wow. Bubba, testify.
Testify. And I might not be the only one I'm thinking. Next game, number 4, Tennessee, minus 13.5 at Arkansas. Tanner.
Man, this one's got me torn up. I've thought about
You want me to give you a little hint?
What's your hint?
I'm taking Arkansas plus the 13.5 at home.
You beat me too, because I think I was going to take the dog too. My best bet of that. But I did see this. Tennessee comes out a lot in the first quarter and scores some points. The spread in the first quarter is only Tennessee minus 3.5 first quarter. I like that a lot. I really think if I bet this game, that's what I'm going to take.
You said minus 3.5?
Yeah, for the first quarter.
Okay.
That's what I saw. I really like that. That means they could win that first quarter.
I'm taking that bet. Write it down right now.
Yeah. I like that a lot. That's probably my pick of the week. If I had to pick one bet, I like that. I just think Arkansas comes out a little slow normally. All they got to be up is 7-3, and that's a dub. So I like that. They were up 24-0, 7-0, 10-3, 10-3, and they were up they've covered every first quarter bet
right
so far this year. I've looked into all that, so I just really like how quick they come out. But I think Arkansas. I saw what they did last week, even though they didn't win. But they covered against A&M. I just think they can cover again. Petrino's got them in the right spot. I think if they can slow down they can have a really good rushing defense. If they slow down Tennessee on the ground, I think that's going to do them wonders and to keep them in there. It might be a backdoor cover, but I don't give a damn.
Petrino ain't there. It's Pittman.
Petrino's not in Arkansas.
No, it's Pittman. Sam Pittman.
Are you sure he's not on the offensive coordinator? Swear he's back there. Look up Bobby Petrino.
I'm looking him up now. Okay, he's offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Okay, I was gonna say Pittman's the head coach, but
yeah, I was like, hold on. I was like, I know Bobby Petrino's there.
Yeah, he's there. He just ain't the head guy. Yeah, we're both right.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So yeah, I just like that. I just think Big Suey gets it done late, so I think they might give me their last second. So I'll take the Razorbacks too.
Okay, that's 2 on Arkansas. Take it with the points, John.
No, man, I'm going with the Vols. I've been on Tennessee all year as being a top 10 team. I don't think they're overlooking Arkansas in any way, shape, or form. I think because I do believe they got Alabama next. I do believe, but I think they want to continue on. You know what I'm saying? Going upward. You know what I'm saying? Going with the Vols.
Okay. Tanner, what this bet's not on here if we're not picking this game, but my best bet last week completely died out, and that was Ole Miss. They lost fucking outright. So that best bet went to shit quick. My best bet this week, Tanner, I'm glad I got it early because it's already starting to go down. I took UCLA plus 28 at Penn State.
Okay.
I like it. I think
I wanted to remember. I'm glad you brought up UCLA because remember I was torn between them last week on Oregon, and I knew their asses would end up covering that game.
Yeah,
and I ended up taking Oregon. I knew they'd cover just too many points when you get these Big Ten games, just too many.
Yeah, that's why I took UCLA. I like UCLA plus the 28, because Franklin doesn't always cover, man. He always he fucks around with 3/4 of the game, and next thing you know, you're only up 17 late in the fourth, right? And then they should be up by 28, 30. So that's where I'm thinking this game's going to go. So I'm thinking, even though that coach don't know what the hell is asked from third base, I'll steal that from Jonathan's favorite buddy, and Tanner, your buddy too. Don't know his ass from third base, but I'm going to take my favorite bet's UCLA plus 28. Next game, gentlemen, number 10 Michigan at Washington. Washington, 2.5-point favorites. There's a rat with this line, guys. There is a rat to take Michigan in the points, and I don't know if I'm going to eat that cheese or not. I've went back and forth all week.
That's the fish. I'm with you. That's the fishiest line of the week.
It's the fishiest line. It is 100% the fishiest line.
It is.
Ranked 10th Michigan at Washington, 2.5 points. Let me break it down for you with DraftKings, future sponsor of the program. 81% of the bets are on Michigan, 68% of the money. The number of bets for the handle is going up on Washington. Guys, I don't. It's a rat line. It's 100% rat line. But I'm going to go with the rat on this one. I know they have no passing game. I know Michigan sucks at passing. Orgy has no passing whatsoever. But Washington doesn't have shit.
Running back. He's like an NFL running back.
Yeah, so give me Michigan plus the 2.5. I don't like it. But I'm taking them. Tanner, you're next.
I'm with you on that, just for that. I think Michigan's pass rush can probably end up get there. Their defense is going to hold them. I'm with you. I don't know why. I feel like the line should probably be reversed right there. Probably Michigan, 2.5 point favorites. Just dogs.
I was shocked when I saw they were underdogs.
Yeah, but I'm going to say give me Michigan as well right here. I think their defense and that Orgy, he's an absolute monster. He's built like a brick shit house back there, and he's playing quarterback, and he should be playing running back. So just with that, but I think their running attack will be too strong for them, and I just think they cover it late probably and win. So give me the Wolverines.
John?
Yeah, go ahead and make a clean sweep, man.
Okay, so we're all going to take the rat cheese and probably die on our sword here on Saturday night. So next one, number 12, Ole Miss, minus 9.5 at South Carolina. Tanner, we'll let you go first.
All right. I know Lane Trade's going to be a little pissed off coming off a loss.
They didn't play anybody either. And that's what you get when you play 4 games with no competition, really. You schedule these Furmans and all that, and you look like you're this great offense scoring 70 fucking points, and then you go out there and lay an egg in the first game that really matters. I wasn't impressed. They got to put more talent on those schedules.
Yeah, you do. And, Kentucky team just shows you that they got some players. They had Georgia on the ropes, too. But South Carolina, are they real? Because they just I think they put it on Kentucky a couple weeks prior. I'm pretty sure that's a fact. I'm just going to have them talk here. But I'm pretty sure they did. And then South Carolina had LSU beat.
Yep.
When game day was there, they had them beat. Speaking of game day, first time ever they're at Cal Berkeley. I forget who's going there. But game day's at Berkeley for the first time in history, and I forget who they're hosting.
What the hell?
But, yeah, Cal Berkeley. It's at Cal. Miami and Florida's going at Cal. Yeah. So, no. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. South Carolina played at Kentucky, and South Carolina absolutely dog-walked the shit out of them 31-6. So, with that being said, I think South Carolina, 9 might be too many points for your boy Reese up there. South Carolina plays well at home, got a little beater ball going there. Luckily, it's only a 3:30 start, but I like South Carolina. Give me the Cox.
I'm going to snack call you. I'm taking South Carolina plus the 9.5 as well. I would tell you to take this money line if they didn't get beat last week with Ole Miss, because I think South Carolina can win this game outright, 100%.
Yep.
If they didn't get beat last week, this would have been the week I took the money line. But I'll take the points plus 9.5 South Carolina. This would have been my best bet of the week if it wasn't for the Clemson-Florida State game. So I'm taking South Carolina as well. Sorry, Lane Train. John, sorry.
Man, Ole Miss is gonna bounce back, man. They get it together, man. They get this win on the road. Give me Ole Miss.
Okay, last game, guys. Iowa at number 3, Ohio State. Ohio State 20.5 point favorites. Ohio State really hasn't played anybody all season. This is another one like Ole Miss, but Ohio State hasn't played anybody. Myself and Jonathan both picked Ohio State to win the national championship. That was our picks when we started the season. I got the sheet here still Tanner had Georgia over Oregon, and I had Ohio State over Georgia, and John had Ohio State over Georgia. So Ohio State, Iowa coming to town, 20.5-point favorites. John, who do you like?
I like Ohio State.
I'll snap calling. I don't know how you're doing on time. I think Iowa, when they could try to go over there and play, I know they're scoring points. Hell, this might be the first time I'd ever say to take the over in an Iowa game, but they went over twice this year in their point total. I just think when they go on the road in these games, they just get blown out. I just don't think they have the higher powers to stay up with them. I think Ohio State scores. They have the long playability. They're going to get some long plays. They're going to win. Give me the Buckeyes.
Okay, I'm gonna take the Buckeyes as well, minus 20.5. So I think they get the dub for that. All right, gentlemen, I'm taking Clemson as my double up this week. Who are you guys taking for your double ups, John?
Indiana over Northwestern.
Indiana is John's double up. Tanner.
You know what? I think mine was going to be the SMU game, but since that's not on there, I'm between this Ohio State and Clemson game. I'll go with you, Rick. I'll hop on that Clemson game, too.
Okay.
Unless we just want to say no one can use the same game. If we want to do that, I'll go Ohio State.
No, we can do the same game. If you're that confident in a game, I mean, there's 10 games, but if you're that confident in a certain one, you have the right to choose whichever one you want.
Yep, I'm with you on that, Clemson.
So, perfect. So we got both of us on Clemson. Jonathan's going to double up on IU this week. All right, gentlemen. That's our picks. We'll follow again. I love our conversations on Saturday or text chain. Sorry, I was a little off last week. We had the Steelers staying with us, so I was preoccupied for this part of the day with that. So
I just got a couple things, Reef. I don't know if the AL has decided, but if the Yankees play at the Tigers and you're off during the week and they play on a Wednesday or Thursday, my ass is going up to Detroit Rock City.
okay.
I don't know if they get them or the
No, they just showed they're playing the Royals.
They are.
Yep.
Well, if Detroit beats Cleveland, I'm going to Detroit.
Listen to this guy. Hey, hey, this. We know who the manager is of the Yankees. Tanner, I don't know if they're gonna make it, but you can tell.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
cool.
So we got the Royals. All right, that's it. We'll catch up again. I finished that Vince McMahon documentary. We'll catch up on that. I finally got that done the other night. So yeah,
Okay.
we can touch base with that next week.
Sounds good, buddy. Appreciate it. Take care.
All right, take care. Yep.
All right, that's our guy Tanner Penrod. John, last thing I have before we finish up, Pacers training camp is starting. Halliburton says he's good to go, ready for the season. Carlisle said it. I agree with it. I was going to say it. I think you would agree with it. This year, an emphasis has to be on defense.
Yeah, and to kind of add to that, spiciness to the you know what I'm saying, there seems like there's going to be some minutes for James Wiseman, and they brought in Okafor.
Yep.
From you know what I'm saying, he's been playing overseas the last couple seasons, man. So Pacers trying to further solidify their center position and basically the whole rail round of the team, man. So just not to start no controversy, I know we're ending the show, man. Just in case, you know what I'm saying, you know, Miles Turner becomes available during trade time. You know what I'm saying? They have insurances, you know what I'm saying, backups, you know what I'm saying, that all that. So like, yeah, man, basketball just right around the corner, y'all. I know I'm ready to explode on it, but it's right around the corner.
Yeah, I think one interesting note was Carlisle said the other morning on the morning show here in Indianapolis that the league put out a memo for all the coaches that it's going to be more of a physical season, more of a physical league this year, the equivalent to what the FIBA ball is. You're not going to have your guys going the free throw lines 20, 25 times a night. They're going to tailor it more to the FIBA style. And I think we saw that with the Olympics when guys were like, well, that's supposed to be a call. Why isn't that not a call? You know, we saw that quite a bit. So physicality is going to be higher up is what the league has told all the coaches a couple weeks ago in the memo.
Yeah, just to tag along, I know we kind of running short for time. Big trade went down. Carson Towns.
I think they got worse.
I can't. I don't think they got worse, Brandon. Offensively, they're going to be
Chemistry worse. Chemistry worse.
Well,
Karl Anthony Towns is not that guy. Karl Anthony Towns, I remember he got punked out when he was up in Minnesota. He got punked out. New York has an identity. Tibbs has an identity. Karl Anthony Towns ain't that identity. It doesn't fit it. DiVincenzo does.
He played for Tibbs before, though. He played
for
man, I know the Italian community, man. I know, man. They're gonna miss the DiVincenzo up in New York. DiVincenzo's always that guy, a glue guy. You know what I'm saying? Wherever he's kind of been, man. But like now, Carter, I think it still makes the Knicks, you know what I'm saying, good. You know what I mean? I still got them in my top 4 teams in the East, and I still stand on this. And I know we ain't, you know what I'm saying, we ain't had one preseason of basketball. I think the East is hanging the banner again this year, and I think the top 4 teams in the East any of those top 4 teams in the East can win the whole thing.
Yep, we'll dive into more basketball as well. John, one quick note: the preseason Big Ten stuff has came out. Preseason Big Ten Player of the Year right now is Braden Smith. I was kind of shocked that he would be the Big Ten Player of the Year. Not me, leading guy, but the rankings also came out. They've got preseason number 1 in their rankings for how they think they would go. Purdue Boilermakers number 1. They've got Michigan at number 2. Dusty Mays there in Michigan now, if you recall from the offseason. Indiana at number 3. The Hoosiers jump up to 3. Illinois at 4. And then UCLA and Oregon at 5 and 6. And then Michigan State at 7. Nebraska 8. Ohio State 9. Iowa 10. Rutgers 11. Maryland 12. USC 13. Northwestern 14. Wisconsin 15th. I thought that was a little much for them to be 15th. Minnesota 16, Washington 17, and Penn State 18th.
Wow.
In your new Big Ten.
I think Rutgers is going to be a little bit harder. I think Rutgers is going to be a little bit harder than that, too.
I think so as well. I always like the way they play, and it's a house of horrors every time you go out there. So, anything else, John? And you close us out, my man.
No, man, just wanted to say thanks to Nas for always chiming in, man. If I
great conversation.
I'm not. Yeah, this is great conversation, man. But just want to say thanks for him calling in. Want to say thanks to all the folks who chimed in on the Facebook Live. We want to say thanks to our sponsor, Scott K. Nichols. How could we do Crossroads Sports without those our sponsorship dollars and all those good things? If you look for insurance of any kind, man, make sure you tap on that link. ScottKNichols.com. I guarantee you, he'll find a good quality insurance deal for you. Outside of that, man, I want to say thanks to everybody. Tanner Penrod, you know what I'm saying? Brent, I hope everybody has a 8-0, weekend this weekend, man. I know we came so close to have an undefeated weekend, man, but you know what I'm saying? Those daggone Ball State didn't come through for me this past weekend. So hopefully the Cardinals do this weekend. Outside of that, man, we'll be back bigger, better than ever next Wednesday. Brandon, I'm still behind, man. I ain't on the Vince McMahon documentary like I should. I'm listening. I'm knee deep, if not waist deep in this P. Diddy. Like everybody got.
Hey, we got skeletons coming out of the closet with some of these names soon.
Yeah, between TMZ and whoever you name it, YouTube channel, they got all kind of information on P. Diddy, man. But I'll delve into the Vince McMahon documentary as well. But like, no, man, like I said, we'll be back next week, bigger and better than ever, with even more football and basketball and baseball, as you know what I'm saying, and all those good things, man. Outside of that, man, I'm Jonathan Person. That's Brandon Reef. This has been Crossroads Sports, man. Thanks for listening.
No Diddy.
Thanks for listening to the Crossroads Sports Radio